Hey guys, this is Martin coming at you from downtown Ottawa at Reform Body Clinic, and today's clip is a very specific question that addresses chronic shoulder and even pain that will travel down into the arms. Typically it goes into these three fingers, numbness or tingling, but can really affect anywhere in the hand. Specifically, the question that I always ask is, when I sleep on that side, that seems to make things a lot worse. So that's kind of the number one picture you see with a problem like this. And the second one is just the postural. So someone who sits at the computer a lot and they end up getting numbness or tingling in the fingers. And what do you do about that? And so that's what I wanted to help you guys with today. And I hope you get something out of this. And you can share this or tag people on this who may find this useful. So the first thing to understand is if pain is coming all the way into the hand, numbness, tingling, there's a very good chance it's coming right from your neck. And the same with chronic shoulder stuff. So chronic to me is if you've been having this problem for over 6 weeks, there's a good chance something is going on that's causing this. So we want to know the root cause. I always start with the simplest things. The simplest things work for the vast majority of cases, which is number one, good posture. Number two, good sleeping habits, because if you are at the computer a lot, rounded forward, you're going to put pressure on the nerves. If you're sleeping on the shoulder, you're going to be rounding it this way, going to be putting pressure here. So good posture, good sleeping position, the number one and two things I would look at. If those don't help you, then you have to start thinking a little more aggressively. Now, there are certain muscles in the front of the chest, pec minor, and certain muscles in the neck, which we call scalenes, which you need to stretch out if you're having chronic shoulder or chronic arm pain. Pec minor is a very simple stretch. You're up at about 135-degree bend. You're up against a wall and you're leaning forward, and it's going to open up the chest this way. Scalenes, we call it the sky gazer or the stargazer. So you look away and you look up, and that stretches the neck. So now you're stretching out the scalenes, you're stretching out the pec, and I want to show you why that's so important. Okay, so if we have these nerves, usually the neck from the side, you can see these little yellow things are all your nerves. The lower ones end up going into the shoulder and down the arm. Similar vein, the lower back go down the leg, okay? So if you're getting pain that travels into the shoulder or arm, we want to make sure these nerves are not getting compressed. That's why stretching out these muscles is important. I'm going to see if we can zoom in a little bit. So here's the thing. So here's a picture of all the nerves as they're leaving the neck and they're coming down through this area of the spine. So it kind of looks really complicated, doesn't it? So it's really important to know what's going on in order to know how to treat it, okay? So this is a great picture because here's the whole shoulder, ribs, nerves coming through. Pec minor sits right over here, scalene sits here. But I'm going to get even more specific because this whole jumble of nerves looks like this. So, you know what? Do you want a doctor to figure out which nerve's under pressure? Well, of course you do. And that's why we do an assessment in the office to figure out what's the root cause of the pressure that's causing this. So now I'm going to go back to the spine for a sec, because if you've done the posture, if you've done the sleeping position, if you've stretched out all these muscles, there's a very good chance this problem is coming right from your spine, okay? And that's where we start running into more serious problems, because if there's compression or pressure in the spine, stretching's not going to help, posture's not going to help. You need to get a proper assessment, because these lower nerves, if we have subluxation, so we have a shift or displacement of those bones stretching or putting pressure on the nerves, you need to get that corrected, obviously. But also, very importantly, this is a very area of the spine that's very susceptible to damage. Okay, so arthritis, thinning discs, joints breaking down. So, you know, in a chronic case, again, this has gone on for, well, definitely over 6 weeks. But if people are complaining about this for years, there may be a chance it's your spine that's involved. And of course, when we talk about keeping you healthy, the whole thing is keeping your nerves healthy. So circling back to the reason for this video, is the guy asked me, he goes, so every time I sleep on my, and he's not a patient because he had to do this online because he lives far, far away. Every time I lie on my side, my shoulder goes numb, okay? So what happens when you lie on your side and your shoulder goes numb? You don't sleep. What happens when you don't sleep? You're fatigued all the time. And what happens when you're fatigued? I'm going to speak for myself. You're cranky, you're irritable. It's just not nice. So part of getting his energy up, getting his mood better, was to help him sleep better. How to sleep better, look after the problem. And how do you look after the problem? You have to figure out what the root cause is. So I hope this helps you guys, because again, this can be a really serious issue. And the neck is by far the most important part of anybody's anatomy. So if there is a spinal problem, something going on in this area, that can long-term really affect and take away from your health. So it's something I take very, very seriously in that initial consultation in the office at Reform at 46 Murray. So hope this helps you guys. Take care.